Good evening. President Trump ended his trip to the UK with the second round of golf at his resort at Turnberry. He flew out of Prestwick Airport just after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Earlier, police confirmed they'd arrested and charged a 55-year-old man in connection with a breach of security involving a paragliding stunt. From Turnberry, David Henderson reports.
He's the most controversial man on the planet, but Donald Trump's day began in peace and quiet, out on his golf course with no protester in sight. He spent 2 nights here at Trump Turnberry, the golf resort he bought and named after himself. Despite the security, a place of calm on a journey packed with conflict. But even here, he's kept taking pot shots at America's long-term allies.
Don't forget, both my parents were born in EU sectors, okay? I mean, my mother was Scotland, my father was Germany, and, you know, I love those countries. I respect the leaders of those countries, but in a trade sense, they've really taken advantage of us.
Donald Trump hasn't escaped the protests. Police Scotland say they've now arrested a man after this stunt on Friday night, a paraglider breaching security as the president watched the sunset. Demonstrations too across Scotland, thousands taking to the streets to voice their anger at what he stands for. So Donald Trump is off again, his motorcade taking to the roads of Ayrshire en route to a meeting with the Russian president. A wave as he left, supporters out on the road to say goodbye. Then a dash through the town of Maybole, all the way to Prestwick Airport and Air Force One. Wheels up and away, the president leaving Scotland behind. It's a country he says he loves, but not all of Scotland loves him back. David Henderson, reporting Scotland, Turnberry.
Our political editor Brian Taylor has been in Turnberry and gave us his analysis of the president's UK visit.
To me, this weekend has seemed in some ways strangely incomplete, to use a Scots word, slightly fusionless. After all, the president met the Queen, but it wasn't a full official state visit with all the panoply that attracts. He faced demonstrations here in Scotland, vigorous, passionate protest, but it didn't seem to impinge directly upon him for understandable reasons of security, and he was able to continue here at Turnberry to relax and to play a couple of rounds of golf on the famous links, although of course those protests may impinge indirectly over a longer period of time. In terms of the impact of the politics here in this UK visit, it also seemed to me incomplete. In advance of the meeting with Theresa May, he had effectively trashed her Brexit compromise, and then he rode back from that at a bizarre, remarkable joint news conference where the Prime Minister's face looked anxious and concerned. Throughout, it seems to me this has been an incomplete weekend, an interregnum between being at NATO and going from Turnberry here to the talks with President Putin in Finland.